work is carried out nationwide and especially in the East Midlands as well, alhamdulillah. We aim to inspire individuals and help them to live positive lifestyle choices through the 5 aspects of personal development. And this can be through workshops, events, and online media. So if you don't already know, we just finished a program 2 weeks ago called the Muslim Leadership Program, #MLP. And alhamdulillah, that was a success. That was really, really good. Alhamdulillah, we will be opening the application forms again some point in August or September time. And without further ado, I want to introduce today's guest, which is a very respected. I've never actually heard someone ever say a bad word about him. Allahumma barik. A bit of a hint, he actually coached me in MMA for 2 years. Nothing serious or professional. It was more of a hobby, self-defense, advancements and stuff like that. And I was pleasured and honoured to have been coached by his coach as well, shout out Ibrahim. And Allahumma barik, the work this brother does, very inspiring. If you don't know him from a few years ago, he was known as the guy in Unit 66. And alhamdulillah, now he's representing LMA and spinning hood drugs and alcohol awareness and prevention. So I'd like to bring on Arafat Ahmed. Please introduce yourself, my brother. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Jazakallah, thanks so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name's Arafat, representing LMA Academy and Spinney Hill Addiction Support Services.
MashaAllah. What is it that you do and what are you known for within the work that you do?
So currently I run Leicester Martial Arts Academy, LMA Academy. We've run a lot of community projects from there. So we run a free youth club, free training sessions, free kickboxing classes, as well as other classes. Excuse me. And also previously I was working at Spinney Hill Drugs and Alcohol Addiction Support, where we were providing a support network and support service for people that were suffering through the issues of addiction, such as drugs, alcohol, gambling, and other online addictions.
Solid, mashallah. So yeah, without further ado, I'd like to go into the topic today, which is mainly into youth work, problems with the youth, benefits of the youth, what we can do to help them. It's a very important topic, I think, and I couldn't think of a better guest like yourself, because you do, Allahumma barak, you do a lot of good work, amazing work with the youth as well. So we'll get started. Tell us about your story into getting into youth work and why.
So my story into youth work, where should I start? So from a young age, obviously I grew up in the Highfields area of Leicester. A lot of people know that Highfields obviously is known for a lot of crime, drugs, violence, all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, I did get myself involved with all that kind of stuff. Ended up going to prison for a few years when I was, younger, but not as young as a lot of people are. And then after I came out of prison, got back to university again, got my degree in criminology, and I got approached by an organisation called Build at that time, which was run by Kirk Master. So I'm sure a lot of people know who Kirk Master
we do the Muslim Leadership Program.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So Kirk Master is a very close family friend of mine. He's my mentor. And then they approached me to deliver some youth provisions at that time. So this was back in probably 2010, I think it was. So we were delivering youth outreach programs in schools, boxing sessions, football sessions also as well. So that's where my youth work journey started. And then from there, I just thought, you know what, as in all the madness that I've been through, I thought, you know what, let me use this as a platform to benefit the people and the community of Leicester and the wider areas of the UK as well.
MashaAllah. You mentioned you went to prison. I hope you don't mind discussing this.
No, of course not.
At a young age. What age was this, and what age did you come out?
So I went in at 21. I came out at 22. So just before I turned 21, and towards the end, once I was 23, I came out. At that time, like I said, Highfield is known for a lot of drug dealing, antisocial behaviour, violence, all that kind of stuff. And I did get myself heavily involved with all that kind of stuff. And once I was in there, it's hard to get out. I'll be honest, I enjoy the lifestyle. I enjoyed the power, the respect, the so-called street credibility or status, as you want to call it. And so after I come out of prison, I went back to university, and so after I came out of university, I did actually carry on with a few things I was going to carry on with, and then obviously just growing up, mentally developing, psychologically developing, family and religion played a big part in me changing my ways around. And trying to give back to the community for the damage that I've caused in the community.
Okay, mashallah, that's sick. And okay, in terms of you coming out and going into university, what made you study the subject that you mentioned there? Was it because you wanted to educate yourself further, gain a bit more ilm in life as well? Like what was it that made you go straight into university?
What it was with me is I've tried so many different things. I didn't know what I wanted to do at that time. So before I went to prison, I was actually at university in London, but I went to university with the intention of obviously making money through the wrong ways. And after I came back out, I went on to an engineering degree, but I found that really, really difficult. It's really hard. At school and college, I was academically gifted. I was very, let's say, quite smart. I got all my grades without having to revise or anything like that. And then I bumped into a couple of people that I knew, and they said they're doing a course in criminology. So I wanted to change my course anyway. So I thought, you know what, let me go criminology a try, because I'd studied law at college, and I thought, you know, I took an interest in that, so I just jumped on it, and I haven't looked back since then.
MashaAllah, Allah Mubarak. And that change that you had in your life, you said you were mentored by a few people and the change you came, but was it a change that you realized you needed to do there and then, or was it a change that you had from the people around you? Did people make you acknowledge that you needed to make a change, or was it more of a self-motivational change that you needed?
It was self-motivational, but it was guided and mentored by, like I said, elders in the community. For example, like I said, Kirk Master.
MashaAllah. Allah reward them as well, and yourself for making that change. And the reason why I got you on was mainly because you have also made that change with the youth, and I'm sure you can vouch for that as well, without tooting your own horn, of course. But this goes back now. Why? So when during the time of Unit 66, what year did you launch that?
2016.
And tell us more about what that was and why you started that.
So Unit 66 is a gym, mixed martial arts gym based in the Spinney Hills area of Leicester. I've always been into martial arts from a young age. So growing up as a youngster, from about 5, 6, 7 years old, we used to grow up on films like, you know, Bruce Lee films, Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Mike Tyson was one of my boxing icons, Muhammad Ali. But our parents, coming from an Asian background, our parents didn't want us to go down that route of the athlete route, basically. Yeah. They thought that education was the way forward, which I'm not saying that isn't. Education is the way forward. You have to have an academic background as well. So like I said, my parents, they wanted me to do well at university, get a degree, all that kind of stuff. But I always wanted to practice martial arts. But back then, there weren't many martial arts gyms that used to cater for people from diverse backgrounds. Mm-hmm. They're mainly dominated by white people, and they're quite expensive as well. Mm-hmm. There wasn't many in the area, and there wasn't many Muslim or Asian people in the sports industry as well.
Got you.
So I was teaching boxing through Build Community Development at that time. We used to use gyms like the old gym on Linden Street, SNS Extreme. There used to be like an MMA side there. Mm-hmm. We used to use the gym on top of SNS as well for boxing. And
SNS Extreme was an elite gym.
Yeah.
If you know about it, you know about it. It was just one of those gyms, proper underground, old school gyms.
Yeah,
man.
so we used to go there. We never used to go through. We used to go to the gym to train instead.
Yeah.
And so like I was saying, so the opportunity came up to obviously open up a mixed martial arts gym. And then me and another close friend of mine, we decided to open a gym, and then just took it from there, and just blew it from there, to be honest.
And you always used to undergo renovations as well. Every time I used to step in the gym, the octagon would be on that side.
Yeah.
Then I come another time, the octagon would be on that side, and you'd have new mats and everything like that. Allah Mubarak. But at least you put a lot of effort in, and I feel like majority of the people I've met, especially the youngsters that have been to Unit 66 or with LMA now, as we know it, they've always spoken good about you guys, and I feel like you guys did an amazing job. And if no one knows, when you go down East Park Road and on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you don't see a group of kids just jogging. You just know that they're doing their training sessions for the morning ones as well. What's your part with LMA now? What is your
right now with LMA Academy, there's a group of us that run it together in association with One Nation Charity as well. So we do a lot of work with One Nation Charity. We try to get the young people involved in charity work as well, to make them appreciate and to make them understand that life doesn't revolve around them. There's a lot of people out there that need support that are not as fortunate as us. So my role in the LMA Academy right now is I deliver a kickboxing session on Mondays, which is free for anyone that's age 16 and above. Wednesdays we have a free open training session, so people can come in and do their own training. Thursdays we have a free boxing session.
I think I've come to the Wednesday one.
You have, yeah. And then Friday we actually run a free youth club as well. So Friday night, yeah.
What times do you do that?
7 o'clock till 10 o'clock, and that's for ages 12 plus. And all those sessions are free as well. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Your business with LMA?
So my role at LMA. So basically, as in, the reason why we do these free projects is a lot of the gyms in the city, and that's no discredit to them, obviously they're operating as a business, they're there to make money. But we realised that in the area that we live in, a lot of people found it hard to access some kind of training, because it can be expensive. When I was growing up, it was very expensive. We didn't have that kind of resources or facilities or service for us to access. So we thought, you know what, let's try benefit the young people. And the young people, they're going through so many issues now, yeah? Some of the issues that I'll mention is, for example, like obviously you got the drugs, the alcohol, the crime, the knife crime, all that kind of stuff. But you get young people come from single parent families, young people that have got no direction in life, young people that have been the victims of serious crime, for example, like, family members have been murdered, or one of the family members have gone in prison for a long time, or they passed away, or whatever it might be. So we try to have that open platform, safe environment where people can come and flourish, and if they need any support, any guidance from any of the elder guys that have got lived experience in those kind of areas, then we can try to support them as best as we can.
So you guys are like the Aka Imans of Leicester.
No. Yeah, I don't know, maybe, I don't know.
Love about now. That was just a joke, man. Everyone is special in there. I threw you off there when I said that.
No, Aka Iman is amazing work, man.
MashaAllah, amazing. No, you guys, so are you guys, man. There's fame or however popular you are doesn't matter. It's about the impact that you're having. Even something like with this show, for example, right now, it doesn't like it's at a very maybe non-busy time. Maybe people gone out their way to listen to this show because it's an iftar time. People right now are just finishing eating, chilling, whatever have you say, and it's one of those ones we always say waves of positivity. We have a show, and even if one person after that hour, after those 45 minutes, has like a spark in them, or it changes something about them, or it makes them come to your gym, or makes them come to your youth clubs on a Friday, then alhamdulillah, we've done our job, and that's the main thing. So this youth club that you do on Fridays, do you see the impact it has on kids, and who are your demographics? What's your target? You say 12 plus, but what kind of ages do you get?
Well, we get kids that are younger, but we have to say no to them because, like I said, we don't want them to interact or mingle with the kids that are older, because some of the older kids, they do have certain habits that
kids can't be mixed with. No,
exactly. Yeah, so even like simple things like, for example, language that young people use. The way you see a 12-year-old speak compared to a 15-year-old is two different things, and we don't want the young people to a 12-year-old speak like a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old.
Agreed.
So start from 12 years old up to about 25, and it can get really busy on a Friday night. So we have up to about 100 kids on a Friday night.
Oh yeah, every Friday.
Every Friday, not all at once, as in throughout the evening. The most we've had is about 120 probably, and some of them come and go. Some of them are regular. Some of them come now and again. But like I said, the development I see in the young people is amazing. It's so rewarding, as in, for example, you see young people that, for example, never stepped into a gym in their life. They come to a youth club and they can do a bit of bag work, they can do a bit of boxing training, they can do a bit of wrestling training. We've got a pool table there, table tennis, we've got PS5. Some kids just come in and just chill and just sit on the floor. They meet up with their friends, they go out to eat, come back. Sometimes we give them free pizza on a Friday night. But in terms of their personal development, as in the confidence, the self-esteem, and the variety of young people that come through those doors, as in, it's such a wide variety of young people. It's amazing to see that. Obviously, you get the young people that are going off track, but then you get young people, for example, they've started their own businesses, or they're working, or they're making a difference themselves, or for example, a young Hufal, or they studying alim class, or they're studying at university. It's just amazing, it is.
I've witnessed that myself. I remember the sessions we used to do back in 2021 with yourself and Ibrahim. It was a mixture of. I think people were still studying the alim class in Jamia Masjid at the time. This is a good mix, and I feel like you guys attract the wider audience, not just when you think of youth club. If you don't mind me asking, the demographics are they kids from troubled backgrounds, or they just genuinely
it's all different backgrounds? Like I was saying, the variety of issues that these young people are facing, it could be anything. Some might not be facing no issues at all. Some might be like, for example, we've got a young person, he's autistic. We've got other people that might have mental health issues. Other people are at risk of substance use or going down the path of drugs and crime and knife crime. We've got some young people that just don't come out of the house, isolated because they're shy, they're not confident. We've got other young people that are doing well at school, other people are not doing so well at school. So just a really wide mix of people that come down.
And what's the feedback been like? What how do you know you're making an impact?
Well, one thing I could say is, for example, when it's time to close, the kids don't want to go home. They're always asking us if there's going to be food today. They ask us for more sessions throughout the week. The parents have all commended us, saying that, you lot are doing a great job. It can be challenging at times because there's only a small number of us that run the youth club. So, for example, if there are 50, 60 kids in there, it's difficult to keep an eye on all of them, but we try to support all of them as individuals as we can.
Solid. Inshallah, I think it's been in the pipeline for a while that we need to collaborate on something.
Yeah, of course.
So inshallah, we'll definitely do something to better the community, man. But we love the work you guys are doing.
Thank you.
We know a few of the youngsters that are with you guys as well. Amir, a good example. He was part of our MLP as well. Very funny, very good character. Abdullah as well.
Actually, Abdullah is one of the guys. I remember when he first started training with us. He was about 14, 15 years old maybe, and he was a very shy kid. It wasn't very open, but like I
I
said,
hope he's listening as well.
yeah, hopefully, but like I said, I've seen him develop and flourish and grow so much now. Yeah, I'm actually really, really proud of him. Imagine
MashaAllah.
even the work that he's given back as well from being in the gym. Obviously, he trains at other gyms as well. But like I said, he's been on charity deployments. He does charity work regularly. He comes to help out at the gym. He talks to other people, to the young kids.
And he aced our Muslim leadership program
Yeah,
as well.
I've
He was
heard,
amazing.
yeah.
He was amazing guy, as everyone else
Yeah.
was. And then now, when I got that invite from you about couple of months ago, I think it was, for Spinny Hill drugs and prevention, etc. Alcohol and prevention, sorry.
Yeah.
And then I got the invite from you, and I was confused because I was
Yeah.
thinking, what's your part with this?
Okay, yeah.
Until I seen you that day, and then
Yeah.
you told me about it, and I said, mashallah, you guys done really good work there and stuff. And especially people our age, we didn't know that centre even existed,
Yeah.
bro. We saw the name here and there, logo here and there. Tell us your part in that as well. What and why do you have two parts in the community?
Okay, so like I said, growing up in Highfields, and obviously through some of my connections throughout my life, as in a lot of people were involved in the drug scene, whether it's taking drugs, selling drugs, or they know family members or people that know that have been affected by drugs. And that's not only from taking the drugs, but for example, the violence involved with drug dealing and taking drugs, all that kind of stuff. So even me myself, like I said, growing up in that kind of environment, I went through some issues in my life. Spinny Hill supported me, and then Spinny Hill offered me a job. So I started working with Spinny Hill. Like, my background in criminology, I've got a degree in criminology. I'm a qualified adult teacher trainer. I'm qualified youth worker. So I've got many qualifications, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, this is the perfect chance for me to like develop myself and help other people, and then hopefully move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I think you already are on bigger and better things, mashallah. You've got so much under your sleeve. Allahumma barik. And how long have you been with them for, Spinny Hill?
With Spinny Hill, I started with them in August 2022.
Okay.
Officially as an official member of staff. I was the only paid member of staff there at the time. And I finished my role with them in December last year, I think it was. So now I've moved on to a national organisation called Turning Point.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so Turning Point is like a national.
I think they have a standard khidma every single year.
Yeah.
They're solid as well. They're really good. So, and the impact of what you had with the Spinny Hill drugs and the correlation it was with LMA and what you have
so
with the youth.
we've done a lot of work together. So a lot of the young people and the older guys that are going through issues with addiction, whatever. It could be any addiction. It could be like normal things that people think that, for example, drugs, alcohol, but include things like social media, gambling, pornography. It could be anything. So we used to offer a free training session to them every single Wednesday. So we had about 7-8 guys come down for a kickboxing session with myself. And the impact that it's had, as in, a lot of them lead chaotic lives because of all the substance use and everything now, yeah. But Spinny Hill provided a safe space for them to be listened to and not be turned away, because the nature of someone that is taking drugs is, if they have a bad day, the only thing they resort to and what they know is going back to that kind of substance. But Spinny Hill, they show so much compassion, so much love. They never turn anyone away.
No, they don't. I've seen that. I've witnessed that as well. We've done a bit of work with them, and we've seen their work firsthand as well. And yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why they're successful. That's why they're thriving. If they were turning people away or they drug people,
of course,
and it's a very safe. It's a safe zone, isn't it?
Yeah.
A very family-friendly zone as well. For people to come down and rehabilitate and change their lives around. And I'm happy to hear that you're a part of it as well, mashallah.
Even the centre itself, as in, even when people from outside the organisations, so other organisations, they come to visit, as soon as they walk inside that building, they feel a sense of serenity, a sense of peace, a sense of calm. And there's nothing like it in the country. So for example,
the open space and the gym in the corner, that's what it is.
They've got a little gym, they've got a pool table, they've got table tennis, they've got a small prayer area. So yeah, alhamdulillah,
it's that nice open space, and it's nice and comfortable, and it's in a good location as well, to be honest with you. Now, I'm 25, turning 26 this year, inshallah. You're how old?
I'm going to be 37 this year.
Still living young, and still looking young as well.
I wish, bro.
So obviously we've got a good just over 10-year gap between us, and between me and youth, if you want to call it, 16-year-olds, talking another 10-year gap. Yeah. So you got a 20-year gap between them, and I've got a 10-year gap between them. And there's a topic or there's a subject that comes up every single time, whether it's online or when there's a tragedy that happens in the community on this road alone. Yeah. And the first finger that gets pointed is the youth is the problem, or there's a problem with the youth, or the kids nowadays are washed. These are the words we hear. Yeah. Kids nowadays are finished. It's the TikTok that's doing it to them, and blah blah blah. What's your take on that? So we'll tackle it at two ways. Yeah, we'll tackle it first. What the kids are doing wrong, what the youth are doing wrong, and secondly, what the adults like you and myself are doing wrong. So let's start with the kids. What is it? What's the problem for them? What's the biggest issue with kids?
They haven't got enough positive role models. But before I go into that now, I'd like to say that, for example, not all the kids are like that. There's so many amazing young kids that are out there that have got their head screwed on. But like I said, they're starting their own businesses. They've got a business mind. They're studying, whether it's academic studies or it's Islamic studies, whatever it might be. There's a lot of kids out there that are doing the thing that,
They're smarter than us when we were there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For example, my little cousin, he's a barber, and he started off in his garage. And now he's got his own chair in one of the well-known barbershops in Leicester, and he even got selected for like a well-known barbershop in London too. That's some trial kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but like I said, he makes me really proud. He does. He knows he is. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, is he listening? Yeah, I hope he's listening.
Yeah.
I'm sure you shared it with your family that you're going to be in a show today anyway. But yeah, no, that's a solid point, man. I completely agree with that because yes, that negative connotation is always mentioned on the youth, but no one realizes how good the other side of it is. But let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about the issue because we're talking about prevention. And that's something that we both similar work with. Waves of Positivity looks at prevention over cure. You guys look at prevention over cure, and a lot of cure as well. So what is the biggest issue? What do you think are the biggest issues for kids?
Lack of positive role models, that's one thing. I think another thing is, I can't speak for everyone, but parents not spending enough time with the kids and giving them that guidance as well, because obviously a lot of the nurturing comes from the home as well. But because the kids are at school 8 hours a day, they're at mosque 2 hours a day, weekends they get free, and some of the kids get bored of it. They just, there's a lot of pressure on kids right now, and then obviously you've got the whole social media pressure as well. And with the whole social media pressure, it's affecting such a large, community of young people. It's difficult for them to fit in. They want to fit in and they want to be, who the biggest, baddest, who talks the most road and all that kind of stuff.
They know too much. They
think they know too much, yeah. But like I said, even though when I was 14, 15, I was exactly the same, if not maybe worse. But like I said, back then we didn't have social media back then, so it wasn't as exposed or out there. We used to get all sorts of madness, but like I said, because we didn't have cameras on our phones,
that's true.
It's not all blasted everywhere. So yeah,
that's another problem that we have nowadays. Isn't it? Everyone recording everything.
They need some direction, as in like I said, on the other side, a lot of kids they have got a direction, but some they haven't got no direction, and that's because of lack of positive role models. You can do anything you want. For example, if you want to go into the sports industry, go into the sports industry. If you want to the business industry, you can go into the business industry, whatever it might be. So, and the other thing is because the whole rise of social media and the whole thing of instant gratification, everyone wants results there and then. No one wants to work hard. They think that overnight, I'm going to become a TikTok star overnight or a
everything's so instant.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
instant, and it's all money driven as well.
Yeah,
all
exactly,
completely money driven.
Money, fame, power. 3 diseases that
Yeah.
we wonder about to stay away from and try not to get poisoned by them.
and what other issues do you think there are with the kids? What other issues are they encountering, or what other issues are they causing?
So lack of services for them. There's not much for kids to do. There's a lot of places for kids to be where they're not meant to be. And problems are happening, as in all these problems that are happening now, they were happening 15 years ago, 20 years ago, but they wasn't spoken about as much. But because it's been made so appealing through social media and all that kind of stuff, they think it's the cool thing to do, if that makes sense. You get it? So
I got you. What about ego? Do you think ego plays a massive part?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, man. Everyone's got some kind of ego, man. There's this book that I was reading. I've not finished it. It's called, what's it called? How to Be Better by Yourself by 1% Every Day, or something along them lines.
Oh, yeah.
So there's one called the self-mind and the ego mind, and you have to have a balance between the two. So if the ego mind takes over, you start making irrational choices, irrational decisions in your life that will have negative consequences. But if you try to override that ego part of your mind or your brain, and you use the self part of the brain or the mind, then obviously you can make more rational choices and decisions as well.
100%. I'm going to carry on in about 30 seconds. I'm going to remind everyone that's listening, you listen to Ramadan FM on 87.7 FM, studio line 0116 482 2086. If you can text us or drop us a WhatsApp message if you have any questions or any points you'd like to raise based on the topic that we have with my lovely guest today, Arafat Ahmed, on 077 488 55055. That's 077 488 55055. And make sure you check out Ramadan FM and all social media outlets as well. Jazakallah khair. So back to the topic of role models and being a role model, right? How can we, you and I, people in the community, Leicester community, in the world, UK, how can we be better role models? What can we do to work on ourselves?
First of all, we have to be better people ourselves. So people and young people, they learn by example. They learn by seeing what other people do. So I think that's the main thing. As long as we check ourselves, and then hopefully young people follow. But like I said, the problem is that young people, some of them think they know better. Some of them will take the guidance on, some of them won't. But as long as we can keep trying, even if we make that change to one person, then at least that's one life saved, you get it? So you can't save everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I said, Allah's the one that guides, Allah's the one who put you in situations you either learn or you don't learn.
Mm-hmm. And what's the problem with us? What's our problem, you and I, and the people that are supposed to be role models? What impact are we having on the youth that isn't a positive one? What is it that we can do better? Especially those that point fingers at kids, that point it at them. You know, it takes a community to raise a child, right? You had that saying.
Yeah.
What is it that we, you, me, other people, what are we doing wrong? What can we work on? And give me a list of things and go into detail. Don't worry, we've got a good 20 minutes, inshallah.
Before I move on to that, I just want to mention a story that I heard on YouTube by a guy called Muhammad Hoblos. I'm sure a lot of people know who he is now. Yeah?
I could listen to him for hours.
Yeah, so basically, he had a YouTube video, and he was speaking, and he was saying that he was having his haircut one time in a barbershop, and he was sitting in the chair, and there's a group of youth that are outside smoking weed or something like that in the barbershop, that pointed their fingers, you know what, look at these kids, what are they doing, they're smoking weed, this, that, what, no, you know, they need to fix up all that kind of stuff now, yeah? So Muhammad Hoblos, he said, you know what are you doing about it? How do you know that these kids are, you know, doing this, all that kind of stuff, other than you've been to see them? So the barbershop said to him, you know what, every week he comes for a haircut, and he sits in my chair for 1 hour. So your role, he comes into your barber chair for 1 hour every week. He probably doesn't even get that 1 hour quality time with his father at home because he wants to be out all the time. So that's where your role comes in, because we know what can I do, all that kind of stuff. Do you get it? So like I say, it's a community, it takes a village to raise a child, and that is true. As in this day and age, for example, when we were younger, if we got caught doing something, we'd get a clip around the air by one of the neighbours or one of our family members in the community.
Especially at the masjid.
Exactly, or wherever, even on the streets when we used to play out, or all that kind of stuff. But now, if, for example, and I'm not saying it's a good thing to do or a bad thing to do, you have to address it in the right way.
You do. There's a time and place, and there's a way as well.
Exactly, yeah. So, for example, if you see a kid that's getting up to no good, and you go and tell, if you say something to the kid, you're going to get in trouble. If you say something to the parents get different. No, that's not my child, he's not going to do something like that. So I think parenting has changed a lot as well. Parents have become a lot more, how should I put it? They're starting bubble wrapping everything. They don't want to.
We've got a call. Okay. Yeah, you can answer it. Bismillah. Why not? Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How you doing, brothers? You okay?
Alhamdulillah.
Yourself.
Alhamdulillah, not too bad. Am I connected into the studio? Yeah.
You are. Yeah, you are.
I know who this is
Okay.
already.
You recognize the voice.
You
need to introduce you. You need to give me your name, because I can't.
My name is Ifaz. I'm Arafat's little brother.
Isa.
Ifaz.
Ifaz. You know, Ifaz done a surprise a guest turnout to I think our first year of Ramadan FM 6 years ago. He done the same thing. He called. I goes, guys, I'm outside the studio. I'm gonna jump in. Do you remember that, Ifaz?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh, is it Suly?
Yeah, this is Suly. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know? I just took a drive and I could hear my brother's voice on the radio, so I thought, let me just call in. And obviously, I'm really liking the topic that you guys are talking about.
Inshallah.
And I think obviously spot on about the role models in the community and how everyone has a part to play in it, whether you're a barber or whoever it is, everyone has a part to play in it, really. Yeah.
Allah Mubarak, that's sick. When did you know he was coming on the show today, or did you just hear him?
I didn't know. I literally, I'm just on my way to the shop, and I just had his voice. I was quite surprised.
MashaAllah. That's
so
sick,
I thought, let me get involved.
See, I couldn't have got a better guest than Arafat to talk about the youth work and better.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. I just want to quickly say that like my brother was saying, the situation around whether it's a barber or a neighbor, whoever it is, he's correct in saying that when we were kids, we didn't really have an elder person or someone we could look up to that would guide us in the right way when if we are leading astray. It's very important that everyone does take their part. Whether it's a general conversation when you're sat in the barber seat. Sorry, one second, my little one's just going a bit mad. So in this day and age, alhamdulillah, now it's a lot better, especially in Leicester, there are many people who people can go to, such as my brother or yourself or loads of other people that are around. Too many names to mention. Whether they be, on the scale of business, whether they be running youth clubs, boxing clubs, or football clubs, or whatever it is. And for those who are listening as well, whether it's parents, whether it's uncles, aunties. One thing I need to say, which I sort of realized as a football coach and as a mentor, is that, as parents, even though sometimes we think we know better, sometimes we may not have the tools to help our own kids. And we have to sort of understand and realize when it's time to say, call someone else and say, my son needs guidance, or my nephew, whoever it is, needs a bit of guidance. And you sort of pass them on to the right hands, because, sometimes they might not feel comfortable going to their own parents. And hence why there's massive communication. But sorry, 1 second, Bob. Let me just jump out here because he's gonna go mad. Hold on.
Bless him.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's just one of those situations where there's people out there in the community that can, because of their life experiences or whatever they've gone through, or the experience that they have in their work. It's important that we, as parents, reach out to those people as the sooner the better, really. And, just understand and just accept that sometimes we may not be able to help our kids in some of the things that they need. Yes, we provide for them and we do as much as we can in the sense of, bringing them up and raising them. However, there's certain things where, generations keep changing, time keeps evolving, and there's only so much we can do. And we may not understand what their, social issues are or whatever they're going through. Even like sometimes when it comes to mental health, especially with the post-COVID era, a lot of the kids are going through massive mental health breakdowns, and they don't know what to do. Parents don't know what to do. They need professional help, or they just sometimes need someone just to sit with and just to kind of like, go to a boxing club or go to a bit of football. And, it's that therapy, isn't it?
Bro, I don't even have any words to say, man. You just smashed it. You took a nice segment out of that as well, man. Allah Mubarak. And with the work you both do as brothers is amazing. You know what I mean? And the points you've made there as well are solid. And I'm hoping anyone that can take some inspiration from that and advice and guidance from it as well, especially in terms of not everyone being able to connect with their children, bro. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone can connect with, like, have that relationship with their dad that they can have with their MMA coach or with their football coach or with their local ustad or their imam. So it's important. It's important, man. And Jazakallah khair for calling in. Do you have any questions? I don't think you do. You're an expert with youth work.
No, do you know, I'm going to carry on listening to the show because I want to hear my brother's voice and what he's got to say.
Oh, that's so wholesome, man. That's so wholesome. Allah Mubarak. Jazakallah for calling in.
I'll try and get back involved, inshallah, yeah?
Inshallah, no problem.
Wicked. All right, you guys take care. See you soon. Take care, man.
Going back to what my brother was saying, for example, like the parents finding it difficult or the children finding it difficult to communicate now, yeah? One of the problems is that the children think that the parents don't understand, and the parents think that the children don't understand. We're both living in different times, but essentially the issues are more or less the same, just in different times, and they've evolved as well. So like I was saying, for example, I mean, the amount of parents that come up to me, and not only to myself, but to other guys in the gym, for example, Yasin or Billy or whoever it might be inside the gym now, even like OB or whoever it might be now, yeah? Some of the parents come, they say, pull us aside, keep an eye on my child, on my son, or, talk to him, try get him to, like, sort himself out, try get him to, like, focus on his studies, or focus on this or focus on that, try get him to stay away from these bad crowds, all that kind of stuff. Because like I said, that not discord, but that, how should I put it? That inability for the parent and child to communicate, understand each other is difficult. Really. So I think that's something that both sides need to work on, to be honest.
So both sides, parents and the child.
Yeah, but it depends how old the child is as well. For example, if it's a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, they're not going to understand, obviously, when the child's going through the pubescent transformation and everything.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. So, yeah. And it's a point that both you and your brother have made, is that there's enough people out there to give that guidance and advice. So I think that's from the youth's perspective. They should be grateful that they've got, that many centres or people that they can turn to.
There is and there isn't, because like, for example, on a Friday night, when we've got about up to 100 kids coming through the doors now, yeah? And there's only maybe 2-3 of us. And each individual has a different skill set. So my skill set will be different from the skill set of, for example, Yasin. He was like an older brother to me as well. And obviously you got Faisal, well, actually Dr. Faisal now, yeah? They're brothers. Yasin is my older brother. Faisal is a bit younger than me, but he still, I consider him as a brother. Billy from the gym. There's so many guys in the gym. Some names I can't, if I haven't mentioned a name, I'm sorry. But everyone's got a different skill set. And for example, if one person can't get through to one of the young people, then we try to go to the other guy, or we'll call up on each other to try and, get the message across.
Got you. So you feel like there's a need from both ends, pretty much.
Of course, definitely, yeah.
It's a two-way road. That's the best way to call it. I'm going to go through questions that we got on Instagram, because every time I do a show, which is obviously only once a year, unless I'm on another radio station, I'd be like to ask our Instagram followers and community what questions they have, or what points they want to make, and I want to raise it with you. So it's not something I want, it's more about you, for your point of view in it, because you're the one in youth work. I'm not really in youth work. I work with youngsters, young adults, but not with youth. So along about this is your stage. And then we've also got a text message which I'll go through first, and that is I think kids have grown up being entitled today because the parents let them get away with everything. What do you think?
It's true to an extent. Like I was saying, parenting has changed so much over the years, especially, and it's not only that, it's because of obviously all the legislation and policies that have come into place as well. So for example, 25 years ago, your dad could give you a slap, nothing would happen about it. Now your dad gives you a slap, the kid goes to school upset the next day, the school's asking what's wrong, they're going to raise up a safeguarding council. Obviously, I'm not saying that obviously it's allowed to slap your child in the face or anything like that now,
But there's level of discipline.
There's a levels of discipline, And also, for example, like the whole instant gratification thing as well, as in a lot of parents think, I'll give him my iPad, or I'll give him this, and then shut him up, all that kind of stuff, You have to be very careful with that kind of stuff. If it's not monitored, then obviously they're going to get children, and even adults themselves, they can access so much from their bedroom, from their mobile phone or from the electronic device, wherever it is.
Agreed.
And there's so much content. For example, if you go on, with all the AI and all the phones checking up on what you type and all that kind of stuff now, there's so much, as in any website you go, you're going to see either nudity, you're going to see gambling, you're going to see this, you're going to see that, all that kind of stuff. It's exposed in the face, as in the young people, they face so much pressure and so much influences from outside sources that we haven't got control over it.
Right from their own bedroom.
Yeah, exactly,
Got you. Brother Irfan said, great talk. I'm hoping he's talking about both of us and not just you. Although Arafat has taken the stage. Jazakallah for that nice compliment there. I'm going to put two questions in one. Well, not questions, they're points, and I just want you to elaborate on them, please, if you can, because they're both the same. In fact, I think two of them. So two of the people I've put together, the rise in social media is a problem with the youth today, or is causing a problem in the youth. And social media's negative impacts causing a lack of childhood experiences. That's a solid one.
100%, I agree with that,
I think that's something that we always say to youngsters, like, you guys don't have a childhood. You guys don't know how it is to play with marbles and hopscotch and what was it, Crazy Bones and Yu-Gi-Oh cards
Pogs,
and
Pokemon and
Match Attacks as well.
Conkers, even the take
Conkers, oh my God. I'll still play Conkers now if people still done it, man. Yeah, so what's your take on that? What do you think that is a negative, causing a negative impact on children's lives because they're not actually living their childhood? There's also like a picture sitting. You never used to ring or text your friends where they were. You just see a pile of bikes left on the floor, and you'd know that your friends are in this place.
Or you go knock on the doors and
you'd actually knock on the door, not ring them.
meet up at the spot, wherever it is. 100% definitely. As in, but then social media can be used for good, it can be used for bad. There needs to be more education around how to use social media. Limits on social, like even working in Spinning Hill, and all sorts of research being done. For example, the effects of social media. It's like a drug in itself, because the way addictions work is, for example, the brain, it runs on different chemicals and hormones now, and there's a chemical called dopamine, which is the feel-good hormone. So there was an article that I was reading in one of the papers. I think it was a Guardian newspaper or something. It was called what was it called? The withdrawal effects of digital heroin, or something along them lines. And it was about a young child. The mother gave the young child an iPad or a tablet to use, and he'd be playing Minecraft, everything, the harmless game, all that kind of stuff. But there came a stage where, for example, the kid got so engrossed in it now, the mum would hear certain sounds on the baby monitor, all that kind of stuff. She'd go upstairs, and obviously she'd take the tablet off him and start having tantrums. So the tantrums were like withdrawal effects from not being able to use a tablet. And apparently these tablets, they emit like low emission blue light from the back of the screen. So they say you shouldn't use your phone or any electronic device about an hour before you go to sleep, so you can relax your mind and go to sleep. But then it came to a stage where, for example, the child, I can't remember how, about 5-6 years old probably, he was sitting in his bed looking at the screen in a trance, and she had to shake him out of it. And in other parts of the world, for example, in the Far East, I think it's like China, Korea, Japan, they've actually got digital detox centers where people go to detox away themselves from gaming and social media and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like I said, in social media, it's a double-edged sword. It can be used for good, but then there's a lot of bad on it as well. And like I said, the rise of people's egos. Everyone thinks that. I'm not saying people are important, people aren't unique or anything, but people have got this kind of self-value and self-entitlement. I think they're more important than other people. And like I said, the hunger for fame and all that kind of stuff is just,
it's worthless. It's worthless. It's irrelevant as well. And you mentioned a good point about dopamine. And that's like a stress hormone. It releases a stress hormone called cortisol. So I'd recommend people to look into that. It's crazy what just scrolling through social media does. Well, especially for adults, it's already bad. But imagine what it is for someone under the age of 14, 15. Got a few more compliments. You're dishing compliments today, bro. Top Man Arafat by Bilal, and then Hussein, mashallah, doing MLP proud. Jazakallah, Hussein. Hope you're well. Hope you're both doing well, Bilal, as well. Another one is many of us claim that we aren't people pleasers, but we definitely are. How do we get around this?
Okay, so what it is, everyone's got some, unless your intentions are pure, you have to renew intention all the time, and you have to understand why you're doing what you're doing, basically. There'll always be some kind of element of, people pleasing. Like, for example, you want to make your parents proud, you want to make your friends proud, you want to make people proud, but then again, there's different levels of people pleasing as well. If you're going to be a yes man to everything, then the intention isn't genuine. So like I said, it's all about the intentions. And like I said, my brother Yasin, every time he's always reminding me, you know what, bro, we need to look at intentions. Because sometimes we do get frustrated at times. For example, things might happen or things might not go as smooth as we want it to now. But saying, bro, you know what, we need to remember why we're doing this. This is the work of Allah that we're doing, and the work for the community is beyond ourselves, what we're doing. We're not trying to benefit ourselves. Obviously, we're trying to benefit ourselves in a way for our akhirah and our afterlife and stuff. But then again, it's for the greater good for the community and to benefit the people.
I'd love for you to elaborate on as well. We're very tight on time, and I want to try to get in all these points as much as possible. We've got another text. Assalamu alaikum. Really interesting talk. I think it's very important for us to be proactive rather than reactive. We always seem to complain when something happens in our community, but don't do much in terms of prevention. How can local businesses or groups support such activities?
So answering both questions. So the first one, as in the problem that people have in general now, is it's not their problem until it becomes their problem. And it is difficult, like I said, with all the issues and all the people. For example, you can't just go up to random and say, what you're doing is wrong. We've gone past that day and age now. So to address it, it is a difficult one because it's a very sensitive topic. You have to say the right thing and you have to do it in the right way. And in terms of local business or groups supporting such activities, just come down, have a look at the work that we're doing, whatever organisation it might be, have a look at what we're doing. If there's any way we support, it doesn't have to be financially all the time. It could be like, just coming down to visit, maybe speaking to the kids. It could be providing, for example, if you're a business that's like a supermarket, you can provide like water or whatever it is, or whatever you think you can do within your capacity. If you've got, like, for example, like a large social media following, promote the service, all that kind of stuff. So.
And where can they find you on social media?
LMA Academy on Instagram.
And where is your location?
So we are based in the Imperial Building off East Park Road, London Street.
That's it. So if you guys want to get involved with the work that LMA are doing, or get in touch with Arafat on social media, reach out to them, see how you can benefit the community more.
If you ever want to come down for a free training session, we've got free training session Mondays, 7 till 8:30 kickboxing for 16 plus. Wednesdays free open training, come on, do your own training, hit the bags. And Friday is a youth club for 12 plus.
And 12 plus, is it just for boys at the moment?
Just for boys at the moment. And we try to keep the boys and the girls separate because the issue of free mixing is a whole other topic that,
Yeah, I could understand that. And for girls, do you currently offer it for girls as well, or are you working on that?
We're working on that at the moment,
Inshallah. So I'm hoping that answers a few questions.
For like, if anyone can support us in terms of the female side of things, so that could be whatever support you can offer, whether it's financially or with resources or with time. Time is one of the biggest resources that people don't have enough of. So I think time is more valuable than money, in a way.
Definitely. So to conclude this session with you, it's gone rapid, man. It went so quick. You were here before me. I was trying to find parking, but Jazakallah khair, everyone, for listening. It was hosted by Suly Peerally, or Suly SP, on behalf of Waves of Positivity CIC, with a special guest, Arafat Ahmed, from LMA and Spinning Hood Drugs and Prevention. Jazakallah khair. I hope you guys benefited a lot from this show. Do keep in touch with us. Do check out our upcoming events and workshops and all the work that we're doing for the community. And have a great Ramadan. Ramadan Kareem to all of you. Assalamu alaikum.